Hi, everybody. How's it going today? It's now April the 24th. It's about midnight Central Standard Time here in Manitoba, Canada, and we're going to talk about Bitcoin Cash. And it's got a lot of day trading opportunities, which is one of the main reasons why I'm interested in doing a technical analysis on it. I usually stick to TA where I feel that there's potential, right? And any volatile coin definitely has tons of potential for day trading opportunities. And of course, Bitcoin Cash is absolutely no exception to that as well. And, aside from the fundamentals, with a larger block size as well, faster transaction times per minute than Bitcoin, and cheaper fees as well, which I'm sure you guys all know about the Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin debate as well going on. We're going to leave all of the fundamentals aside and mainly take a look at just the pure technical analysis perspective. But from what I have heard recently, Roger Ver, of course, has been heavily promoting it, and it's been a little bit more widely adopted than Bitcoin, right? And there's been tons of conventions as well. That's why we're seeing it move in a parabolic type of way right now. So before we get started, I would definitely appreciate an upvote on Steemit. You guys can always go to my Steemit links down over here, and if you guys go to any single post, you can just scroll to the bottom, and that's how you support me in a very small way that doesn't cost you guys anything whatsoever. And if you guys definitely would like to help out and you feel my work is exceptional, you guys are welcome to donate to the Philakone Crypto and my dog Luna. It's our little cryptocurrency piggy bank that I actually keep for her, just for emergency funds. So let's take a look at the coin market cap to see where Bitcoin Cash is actually trending right now. What we see with Bitcoin Cash is that it's usually ranked number 4, right? I cannot really oversee any coin that's going to overtake it for the long term. In fact, if this actually keeps up right now, and Bitcoin Cash hits around $2,000 mark, whereas Ripple stays fairly stale, we might actually even oversee Bitcoin Cash take over Ripple in the very near future. And we see Bitcoin Cash just dominating the charts right now at 18%, which is amazing. Of course, EOS is on a tear as well right now. There's been some major announcements for Bitcoin, for EOS. That's why we're seeing some fairly heavy numbers right now move up the market. And what other coins do we see? We see Dash doing very well. We see Tron hitting double digits. We see Ethereum Classic hitting double digits. Bitcoin Gold hitting double digits. It's actually all green across the board right now. And I can only imagine, of course, that the 24-hour volume is probably heavily picked up. Yeah, there we go. So we see it under $1 billion on April 22nd. On April 23rd, it literally doubled, guys. Literally doubled. And then we see April 23rd, April 24th here, not only doubling it, but doing a little bit better. We're now at $2.8 billion for the historical trend. So we're going to do a basic Elliott wave count right now just to see how things are trending. And then we're also going to take a look at a lot of RSI and moving averages just to get an average gauge of how this is trending thus far. So it's actually hitting my target range, if you guys remember from a few tweets ago. I think from 2-3 days ago, where I was projecting it would hit around the 1550 to the $1,600 range, hit it with absolute flying colors, which is awesome. Just let me have a sip of my water here very quickly. It's been a really long day for trading. Yeah, I think I'm long overdue for a vacation right now, and I'm getting a little bit stressed out in general, just because I think I'm worrying a lot about other people right now, and I'm putting them ahead of myself, put it that way. So I'm trying to work extra hard right now to, despite how well you guys might see me doing in crypto, I'm not doing as well as I'm doing well, but of course it could always be better, right? The majority of my funds actually ends up going to my folks because they don't really work right now. So of course I'm supporting them, and yeah, and I'm gonna be helping out my friend Mel there in Thailand because she's got herself in a little bit of a pickle right now. Actually, a very bad pickle. So I'm kind of heading there to surprise her with yeah, with a little bit of a crypto account there where we can start day trading together as well. So anyways, let's get into this technical analysis. We see just EOS is ripping up the charts right now. It's unbelievable how high it's actually getting right now, which is pretty awesome. I wish I was in a long position, but no. And it's actually very scary to even short EOS right now because of just how crazy this parabolic trend is in general. And we see Bitcoin just also ripping up the charts. So let's take a look at Bitcoin Cash to see where this is trending. And let me grab my toolbar here as well. Okay, so what we see is it's quite awesome actually the way that it's going right now. And the way I'm going to start my Elliott wave count is just on a very small time frame right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this whole structure, I would believe that it's the 5 structure in here. And if I were to count my third wave, oops, I end up deleting that by accident. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on a very small. I'm not sure why that's deleting right there. That's really weird. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Okay, there we go. Now it's looking okay. So this seems to make a lot of sense where this one kind of double topped out right there. If that doesn't make sense, then this right here might make a tiny bit more sense as well. So that's a great way to look at it, in my opinion, right here. If this makes sense to you guys, right? Yeah, this should make a lot of sense. Excuse me. Sorry for a cough. I'm going to mute the microphone for a second. I got to actually cough here. I don't like to cough in front of people. I find it very rude, so I will send you guys that courtesy as well and cough like that. So 1, 2, this is 3, 4, and 5. So I feel that this is 1, 2, right? This is the 2 structure there. We get a massive 3 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, and we get a 5th structure in there right now. And the way that it's looking, it's actually looking like it's very much so near the top, guys, very much so near the top where it's going upwards like this, right? Where 1600 could be a very key and relevant area to be, where the top could possibly be. So if I were to just draw it on a big time frame here and start from the beginning, it would look something like that. 1, right? 2, like that. This would be 3-ish, 4, and 5. And let me just clean it up here so it will make a lot more sense on a minor scale. And let's get the waves in here as well. Okay, there we go. So this seems to make a lot of sense to me, just around this particular range right there. How does that look to you guys? Looks pretty decent to me. If I do my fib extension from wave 1 territory, we see that it's very, 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 very overextended already, reaching some ridiculous highs right now of even almost the 461.8 fib regions right there. That's pretty cool. Take a look at EOS right now, guys. You guys see how high EOS is going? I regret not buying on this breakout right here, right? Where it was bouncing heavily off of the 55 EMA. It trended down a little bit, but it came right back up. This would have been the perfect opportunity to actually enter a trade right there around the 1153 range. And that would have been a nice percentage gain of about 20%. So if you played like a $20,000 position, you would have actually got a $4,000 gain from that right there. So this is the way that I'm looking at it right now, and I'm just going to actually post this on my Steemit because it's a lot easier, as you guys know, for me to do all of this in one simple go. So I cannot help but feel that this right here is almost the top, guys. Like it's almost near the top. I understand that Bitcoin might have a little bit more steam, but we have to acknowledge the fact that Bitcoin is reaching a very heavy resistance right now. And let's take a look at all these other indicators as well, okay? So according to the daily, right, we ended up finishing the daily with a really huge green candle, and there's actually no momentum slowing down yet whatsoever. And on the weekly that actually finished, how many days ago now? 2 days ago, the weekly candle finished incredibly bullish. We're talking about a wow, a 164% gain, guys. 164% gain in the past week alone. That's huge, right? Wow, that's so big. I regret not getting in on that, but there's been so many other opportunities. Like I can't complain about all the other opportunities that have been there already. So on the daily chart, we still see it stair stepping fairly hard upwards, right? MACD is looking phenomenal, where it's parabolically moving up. We're about to get an actual golden crossover in just a few days. If you guys are not familiar with what the golden crossover is, it actually refers to the 200 moving average, which is the white line, and the 55 or the 50 moving average, which is the yellow line. It ends up becoming on top. So the 200 moving average actually ends up going on the bottom, and it supports all of them. So if I were to extend it outwards for you guys, it would look something just like this, okay? It would look like that, where that's the white line that gets extended, and then we get a yellow line that ends up getting on top of it like that. So this is what we call a golden crossover. A golden crossover happens once again when the 200 moving average ends up becoming a crossover and it's now underneath the 50 moving average. And of course, if we look at the other way around, that's the death cross, right? The death cross is when the right now that's what it looks like right here. That's a death cross where it's the opposite, where the 200 moving average ends up crossing above it. So right now we're looking to be very, very bullish in general, and we're going to talk about some predictions as well. So we have to acknowledge the fact that this particular region right here, exactly where I'm putting my mouse, and this line, this is actually acting as a very hard resistance area because of these particular regions that we see in the past, right? So we have to always acknowledge that these resistance areas, it's going to be a hard resistance, right? Anywhere between 1550 to 1630 is a pretty hard resistance for the time being. We are now at hard resistance. I'm just going to write on here. We're now facing a resistance zone, okay? So that's always important to make note of where these resistance zones actually are. So according to the daily, yes, we are parabolically moving up, but we also have to question how much higher can it actually go since we are actually facing this resistance zone right now. So I can't help but wonder right now, like how much higher can this actually go? Pretty good questions to be asking right now, I would say. So let's take a look at some other key indicators that we can see. On the 4-hour chart right here, we see it slowly not stepping up as much anymore on the histogram. We see it in completely overextended according to the MACD and according to the RSI as well. So what we're going to be looking for very soon is some sort of sign of a bearish divergence when we get a peak and it actually starts to come down. Right now, not quite yet because it's still extending upwards. So when we see a peak that gets extended upwards like that, that's when we're going to be able to tell where these bearish divergences can start to show signs of weakness in this particular market when it comes down. Now, what we're seeing right here is it's still getting a series of higher highs, right? We are still seeing a series of a higher high right now. So what we want to identify is when this is actually going to get very much so near the top. We're still seeing a series of higher highs, which I'm going to indicate on here. We're still seeing a series of higher highs on the 3-hour time frame. A series of higher highs and lower highs on the 3-hour time frame. Strength is still strong, right? Or I should write momentum is still strong. So for all the Bitcoin Cash lovers out there, despite me not being a big fan of, mainly Roger Ver there, or Veer, however you pronounce his name, I still see some really big opportunities for day trading, and it's just a matter of being able to look and identify as we keep going. So I'm looking for a shorting opportunity or a potential to go long as well, right? Despite how bearish or despite me making the majority of my income from a bearish market, I still definitely do absolutely love going long as well. I go where the money is, right? And that's what a lot of people should be doing as well. But what we're seeing on the 2-hour candle is we're starting to finally see um, the resistance, right? We're seeing right here is a bearish spinning top. And this one right here so far is actually a shooting star type candle that might unfold in about 40 minutes over here. This bearish spinning top, which can indicate bulls are losing steam since BTC did hit 9.2 to 9.3K range. So this needs to make sense as well, though it doesn't always guarantee that the bulls have lost strength. It just implies they may lose strength soon. And this one right here is actually called a shooting star type candle, but since it's still green, it's not as bearish as a bullish. It's not as bearish as a red type shooting star candle. So what I like to do is I like to hunt for setups, right? I like to hunt for setups and I like to look for signs that might make me weigh more one side towards another side, right? So that's what we should try to do as a trader. We try to evaluate the probability of something looking more bearish or more bullish. And what we see is that over the past two candles, it has actually rejected a region of between about 1175 to about for three candles now, basically, right? It couldn't really break and close above the 1547 range right now. So let's see how this is looking on here. We see the histogram slowly starting to not uptick nearly as much right now. It might actually start to round off. So let's see what else we see over here. If we look on the 1 hour time frame as well, we're seeing a series of lots of rejection candles, right? We got this guy right here. This one here is a shooting star, and this one here is kind of like a doji candle, doji slash hammer, doji slash what is it called? Hanging man candle implies strength is slowly losing, right? And this one right here especially implies that the bulls are starting to lose steam, but the bears next candle, shooting star, should imply momentum is slowly losing steam. But we see the next candle, the bulls gave it a huge attempt still. But this candle right here could turn into a bearish engulfing candle on the 1 hour. Could turn into a bearish engulfing candle. So the bearish engulfing candle, just think of that as actually a candle that ends up engulfing all of it, right? So we're going to try to identify some supports and resistance zones. This way it will make a lot more sense when we go over all of this right here. I'm just going to try to delete all this as quickly as I possibly can. This will probably be my last video for the day, and then when I get up, I'll make sure I do a live stream for Bitcoin to see where we're standing at right now. I'm not going to annotate every single one for you guys. So we still see it kind of reaching overbought regions right now, but you know what? It's still parabolically moving up, which I want to make note of as well, right? I want to make a note here as well that a potential for a golden crossover is happening soon. A potential for a golden crossover is happening soon. A golden crossover is when the 200 moving average is supporting below all the moving average, is sprung below the 50 moving average, which implies lots of strength in the market. Heavy momentum for investors and longer term holders. May also signal a swing trade. So that's a really good distinguishment to make as well. Usually when I enter my swing positions, if I ever do, which is actually very rare now, sorry, my face is a little bit itchy here, which is a little bit rare now, yeah, that's a really good signal for myself, right? So according to the Elliott wave count, like we should get up to like 1630 ranges in my opinion, and then we might actually get a small correction. How big of a correction? I don't know, guys. I really don't know. But we have to keep in mind that Bitcoin Cash did reach the $4,000 range before, right? When Bitcoin Cash did reach the $4,000 range, Bitcoin was actually, what was it? It was like $20,000, right? So right now, Bitcoin, like what ratio are we at right now? We're at 9,200 1500 divided by 92. We're at about 6, right? Yeah, we're at about 6 right now. Usually it's about 1/5 of the ratio of Bitcoin. So we're seeing it kind of proportionally go up all the time with Bitcoin, which is pretty awesome. But we have to make note that the daily is reaching some heavily overbought regions right now. But you know, it's reached these types of regions before, right? It's definitely reached the overbought regions before, despite Bitcoin Cash reaching overbought regions, which I'm going to write here, despite BCH reaching overbought daily RSI regions, we've seen BCH reach much higher RSI before. Therefore, we can't consider any steam lost yet, okay? So let's make sure that we always remember this right here. I meant to say we are now facing a resistance zone, sorry. We are now facing a resistance zone. So I just want to make sure I actually got that right. So let me just copy this as well. I appreciate you guys' patience when I do this. It just actually saves me a lot of time, and I want to make sure that I provide you guys with tons of charts, right? Because I think it helps a lot of people learn in different ways, which is kind of critical to learning in general. Okay. Have you guys seen how overbought EOS is right now on the 30-minute chart? Check how overbought it is. It actually reached 93. On the 15-minute chart, it reached some pretty crazy numbers actually. And it's finally starting to downtick with its bearish engulfing candle that was reaching at the top over there. I'm probably going to enter a short position in front of you guys if you guys don't mind as well. I like trading live. Like trading live is kind of cool. So we just keep going down, guys, and we just keep looking at this right now, right? I mean, if we just keep evaluating it further, let's say I removed all of this and I went back to the 4-hour chart and I'm just counting my waves, right? Like I'm just gonna do this right here for the final wave because I expect that to be the 5th wave, right? Do we actually have 5 waves completed? Nah, we actually don't have 5 waves completed, right? Not even close here. So if I were to count my 5 waves in here, 1, 2, you know, this is about the 3rd wave. We might get like a small correction, and then we might get the one last push. I expect a push to around 1630 range, right? I'll probably, maybe we'll find support. This is a possibility, right? We find like support region right here, just around here. I don't really know exactly where it's going to trend to, but I'm going to guess this is a strong support region. This is a strong support region between like 1380 and 1462. 1380 to 1462 range right here. And what we see is we're actually missing you know, subwaves in here. So let me just draw out the subwaves for you guys. So I see this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the 5th wave. We're missing a 4th wave, okay, correction, and the final 5th wave to complete Elliott, which brings us to this resistance zone right here, which brings us to the resistance of 1350. We are missing waves 4 or subwaves 4 and 5, subwaves 4 and 5, which can bring us to 1630, the strong resistance zone. So as we can see, we're kind of losing steam right now a little bit right now. So you know, it's good to a recommendation would be to ladder, you know, strong laddering opportunity to catch final wave. Strong laddering opportunity. This is what I'm gonna do. So make sure you guys understand that it's not me giving financial advice in any way. It's more so just me playing I Spy with my little eye. And always remember that you guys are always responsible for your own decisions that you make in the game, right? The last thing you want to do is be someone who just ends up following a lot of different charts without actually learning any technical analysis yourself. I apologize if I sound kind of tired, and you guys know my style by now. At night, I kind of like to hang out at night in the dark right here, so it's kind of just the thing that I do. Strong laddering opportunity for subwave 4 down to catch the final subwave 5 up. So this is kind of how I'm seeing it right now as well, right? I don't know if it's really going to hit this zone. You know, if it did hit this zone, we'd be basically retracing, you know, retracing. I'd probably say we can even assume a strong possibility right here of 1488. Very bullish, okay, between 1488, the 0.32 fib region. Assume bullishness. strong bullish to 14 sorry 1380. Actually, I don't think it's gonna actually go down that much. There's no way. To 1435, the golden ratio 0.618 fib level. So that's a good way to look at it as well. And then that's kind of my general thoughts right now for Bitcoin Cash. I think that there's one more subwave up. I'm not interested in shorting this right now. I'm not interested at all, but I do see potential coming up very soon. And if there is potential coming up very soon, right? Yeah, if this is actually the wrong count, right? Even if this is the wrong count, um, yeah, it's there's just so much room for it to move still, despite it being incredibly overbought. We're not really seeing any signs of it losing strength as well. So I do believe that 1630 is the next viable target. Like on the 30-minute chart, that's the only time that we're seeing it lose strength right now. The only visible sign that I see losing strength is on a 30-minute chart, but that's in a very short time frame where we could get possibly a MACD crossover happening soon. But of course, that's expected because I did mention that we are looking at a small correction sometime very soon as well, right? For the very fourth subwave correction there. You guys got to remember in the grand scheme of things, right, that Bitcoin Cash actually did hit some astronomical numbers. So just hypothetically speaking as well, if we took this particular extension just like that, okay, and we went up to we went up to, just as an example, long-term prediction, okay, just a very super long-term prediction where this is could be something ridiculous like that. I'm just gonna get the 261.8 as well in here. Oh, it's actually on there already. Long-term prediction as well. We could do something ridiculous like that, right? For subwaves 3. Long-term prediction, we generally see BCH 1/5 or to 1/6, 1/5 to 1/6 of BTC's price. If BTC hits 35K this year, we can easily see BCH trend near $6,760. So long-term prediction makes entire sense. This one here will be completely to be determined, so I will leave that off the table for now, and then we'll figure that out later in the year. And this is not like June price or anything. I should probably move this way down because some people might be mistaken, right? That they're gonna, it's gonna actually hit those kind of prices very, very soon. So I just want to make sure that it's like that. So long-term prediction, I do see it hitting about, so we'll say 6,500 at least, right? So there you guys go. This is my quick analysis of Bitcoin Cash. I apologize if it wasn't too structured in any way. If you guys love the material that I'm putting out, you guys are welcome to please upvote it on Steemit. I would sincerely appreciate that. And if you guys especially want to let me know I'm doing a fantastic job, you guys are welcome to donate to the cryptocurrency piggy bank, which is basically going to be helping out my friend Mel. That's the honest truth. That's why I'm working a lot of overtime lately and putting in some ridiculous hours to the point where I'm almost feeling kind of burnt out right now. And yeah, I'm feeling a little bit burnt out, I have to admit. I've been at it for, I think, since I've been back, like after getting my new internet and going through the hack and stuff, I think about 3 weeks now, right? I haven't taken really one day off. I might have taken Thursday off, but I was actually still working pretty hard, just planning and looking at charts. And actually, no, I didn't really look at charts that day. I was more so going over like my strategies and just seeing what I was doing wrong and seeing how I can improve. Sometimes it's really good to take a step back to take a look at some of your trades in general, whether you're looking at charts or not, just to see where you can find areas of improvement. So make sure you guys are always giving yourselves a breather day as well, okay? So I apologize for the lack of humor lately. Once again, I'm just getting so exhausted right now, and I really need a vacation, just put it that way. So have yourselves a great night, and thank you very much for tuning in as always. Bye now. Take care.